People want to know the state of your health.
Yes, certainly.
It's their right to
in
know.
In any country, right.
Exactly. Yes. It's their right to know. It's not a secret.
You know, but Dr. Madu, we have talked, and I've talked to you on so many occasions on this very show, about democracy in Nigeria. I mean, we've talked about that, and, you know, we talked about the election of 2007 and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
But it seems that all of this is simply gone away. There's no more, nothing resembling democracy in Nigeria. Is that what we're saying?
Absolutely, because the people don't have a say. They have a say in what they do supposedly imposed on them are doing. They don't have a say at all. Okay? They don't have nothing to say. Okay? The governors come here when their wives are pregnant to have their babies here. And you wonder, what about your hospital there? Okay? Now, the poor person in that country can afford to do that.
That's right.
Yeah, let him or her go there and die. No problem. We can afford to come here. I asked one of my friends in the State Department a few months ago, you know, that said, why don't the State Department say, hey, any governor in Nigeria, when you're sick, don't come here. Stay over there. In that way, they will think twice and build a hospital. Exactly, they build the hospital. But they know if I'm sick, just get a visa to go to London or United States or Germany. Let the poor man die. And I said that to even the Assistant Secretary of State when he talked about, you know, community involvement in trying to change Nigeria. I said, hey, you all got to help Nigerians.
That's going to continue. There's no way to break that cycle. It appears to me the way it's playing out here.
You can't break the cycle the way it unless you help us break that cycle. That means you have to say, hey, if you're a governor of a state in Nigeria, when you're sick, don't come here. Stay over there. In that way, you have to build that hospital, or otherwise you die like the regular people. Okay?
But we talk about hospitals, but now there's so much poverty over there that outside of hospitals, you know, that it seems that the wealth that's there could really be used much more effectively by the people if they. So it's a problem with the leaders. Is that what it is?
Absolutely. The 95% of those in power now, from president to the governors, were imposed, not elected. You ask any Nigerian, he will tell you that. Except for the governor of Lagos State or so, who is doing very well, who was really elected. Okay? The majority are doing nothing. And you've interviewed those Lagos State.
That's right.
Exactly. They are the ones doing a lot. Even their governor has never traveled out since he became governor. All the equipment they came here, you know, that's what they came here for. He's being used very well in building up the Lagos hospital in Lagos.
Okay,
yeah, he's doing very well because he cares about the welfare of his folks. And those you saw here when they came, the same.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember him well.
That's correct.
And he was a very, very energetic governor. And he was planning on running for the presidency at one time.
That's correct. That's correct. They are doing very well, okay, because they are dedicated. The rest don't care. And now, what happens? You have a lot of poverty, combine it with Islamic terrorism. You have a combustible, you know, ingredient there. And that's what's happening. Okay? Most Nigerians now are poorer than they were in 1960, when the country even had less money. Okay? Now, with Islamic terrorists, you know, rampaging in the north and poverty in the other part of the country, in particular the Niger Delta, where the oil comes from, you have a very big, terrible situation there that is going to get out of hand. Okay? Where this oil comes from, 90% of the people don't have water to drink because Shell and the others have polluted the water. They can't drink their water. They depend on fishing. They can't even fish because the water is messed up. Okay, yeah, they have nothing. That's why you have them now agitating. You have militants agitating in Niger Delta, and they have guns. You know, the acting president, who is Goodluck Jonathan, is from there himself. And they are telling him, hey, if you don't do something, we'll keep fighting. We're not going to give up until, you know, we make sure that we get what we deserve.
It seems that they're fighting against such overwhelming odds, though. I mean, if you continue to, more than 98% of the folks might be involved in corruption, etc., and those individuals that are not involved, no matter how large the group might be, they don't have the power to do it. I mean, they can't get out and say, we're going to have the election of a new president tomorrow or whatever. There has to be a process that goes in there. And it seems to be that there has to be some kind of intervention on the part of somebody.
That's correct. And that's why a whole lot of Nigerians now you know, they don't mind if they have to rise up and tear the whole country down because they are fed up. You know, most of the governors, all they do is travel down here, launder millions of money stolen, and go on back.
Dr. Madu, we're going to have to call an end to this for today, but we certainly want to bring you back and to continue on this as an issue, because I think that it has tremendous impact, and we're not just talking about an out-of-the-way kind of situation. We're talking about the largest, the most populous country in Africa, 50 million people, and so that should have some impact upon somebody somewhere. And of course, we want to deal with that with you the next time. But now let's encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.